Yeah, guys, today I want to make a quick review on the 2022 Migration Program report for Immigration Australia. This is for from Department of Home Affairs and published by Australian government regarding immigration in Australia. And this is the last report. The next one is going to be must have the next one is going to be 2023 to 2024 June when the year closes in Australia. That report is not yet on the website, so probably they're gonna publish it soon. So I'll be taking you through the immigration process in Australia and the results, which you are most likely to see, how the trend of immigration has been happening for the past years, and the likely possibility of what streams and what programs that would take you to Australia without so much stress. And that's why I'm going to be taking you through this report to get you acquainted to the streams and also tell you the programs which are most likely to make you get to Australia successfully, and even the province which you should consider if you want to move to Australia. Okay. Yeah, this is a migration program outcome for the year, which I've in review, and this migration program outcome by streams. So you can see there are family stream, skill stream, child, special eligibility, and a number of other stuff. So you can see the graphs in green. Light green is showing the percentage of family, those who move through family, and the one in red is showing percentage of those who move through scheme. I mean, this is just like uh, the performance, how it goes through. So at the point it was almost constant, fell and it rise again. For skilled workers and for family stream, it was constant, it rise and it fell. So which means that more or less people are going through the family process. I mean the family stream. So you can see the green means skills and yellow means child. There are few people who go through, to join their parents. And green means special eligibility is quite very small. Yeah, so but this is across a number of years. You can see from 2012 till 2023. Now, this outcome program by stream and intended residents, state and territory. So you can see the family, those who move through family, and those who move through skills, and even special eligibility, which is just for Western Australia and not specified, the rest of the guys. Those are the two who had special eligibility. But then you realize that New South Wales had a huge number of almost about 58 or 57,000. And the next was Victoria that had 50,000. After those two states, you see that there is a very huge decline. I mean, huge difference rather. Like Queensland had about 25,000, and Western Australia had a little bit less than 20,000, and Southern Australia had about 18,000. Yeah, just that way. So you can see that there's a huge decline. So if you ask me, there are three guys who are playing the role, but mainly two: New South Wales and West Victoria. If you go through the rest of the graph, I'll show you. See that this is also repeating like a trend. So that shows that most likely people who goes through New South Wales and Victoria are most likely to be successful. So that is what it means. Not really most likely to be successful, but there is a huge demand in this area. So it means that it gives you more opportunities. So you can see the list here. New South Wales, I've got 57,518. Victoria, I've got 49,891. And Queensland, 24,927. And you can just go through it and see. Out of 195,000, Victoria have gotten about 30, more than about, let's say, yeah, about 28% or thereabouts. So that's a huge number. That shows that New South Wales is really engulfing people, right? Yeah, so this migration program outcome by intended resident state comparison with previous year. Yeah, so here they've compared it with the previous years. You can see the different places, and you can see the years in review, 2012 to 13 this way. Okay, this is the last one. So you can see it was actually standing tall. Yeah, giving the highest number in 2022, 23. So most likely this year, they are most likely going to also take a number which is within this range, because you can see when they were taking, there is almost an equity in the graph, most likely, unless they are going to decline, but which I doubt they will decline because it has just started rising, right? So you can still see that New South Wales have got the highest number, followed by Victoria, which have got about 140,000, and see Western Australia have got about 60,000. So the two guys who are playing the role for me is Victoria and New South Wales still in this graph. So they're the two guys who are playing the role and who are taking more people, which means if you want to go to any area, maybe state or regional, you should be considering New South Wales and Victoria because they have the more demand for immigrants or for migrant workers. Yes, if you go down, you see just the table, which I've just explained. So this migration outcome for Australia Capital Territory by stream and visa categories. So here you can see that for employer visa, they've got 397, and for skilled independent visa, they've got 625. Regional Australia is taking the highest at 2,317, which means the regional takes higher. Next is the state or territory domination, which takes 1,625. Then the rest are slowing down. So if you apply for this to the next skilled independent visa, those are the three visas that you are most likely to get unless you have got partner, parents, or other family, or even you're a child or something like that. So you can connect with any of these other streams. So otherwise, you should be thinking of regional or territory or skill independent visa. Yeah. So this is like a breakdown for that. Yeah. Next is migration program outcome New South Wales by stream and visa. Now we want to look at New South Wales itself. You can see still in New South Wales there are programs are like hot. This skill program, if you go through the skill stream for New South Wales, is like the hottest. Look at employer sponsored is 13,698. So if you find a job in New South Wales, it is the easiest way. The next one is skilled independent visa by asking them for sponsorship. Regional by asking them for sponsorship. State by also asking them for sponsorship. Then business and innovation is still huge, 1,054. And global talent is independent is 2,000 plus, which is huge. Distinguished talent is a bit lower, 118. So there, it seems like all the streams for New South Wales is really very high. Look at partners, 12,885. That means a lot. Parents, 3,455. There's a lot. And fam, even other family, 195. And look at child, 890. I think New South Wales, for me, is the gateway to Australia. It's quite important for us to evaluate these graphs, these results. It's not about just looking at this beautiful graph, but you have to read the meaning, read meaning out of it and tell yourself what it implies. For me, it simply tells me that if I go through New South Wales, it's like a gateway into Australia. Yeah. So I'm gonna just evaluate a number of graphs, and this is New South Wales by stream comparison with previous year. You can have a look at this on your own time. Just hit up, visit the Home Affairs of and look at it. Yeah, next is migration program outcome for Northern Territory by stream and visa categories. So if you look at these guys, they've also got a huge chunk. Yeah, employer sponsored is 362, quite low compared to these other guys. Skilled independent is 267. Regional is 1,870, not too bad. State is 915. Business and innovation is 19, and global talent is 20. So you can see the difference is quite huge, right? Yeah, so I mean, it's not like the best place to go to, right? Yeah, so Queensland, which is the second one, you can see employer sponsored is 4,624, which is huge. Skid independent is 5,824, which is huge. Original is 3,951, which is huge. If you just go down, you saw that, including territory, which is 1,960. So you can see that these guys are also serious guys to consider. You think of New South Wales, then you think of Queensland as your second choice. I mean, that's if you're desperate to move to Australia and if you think you're gonna succeed in these places. But for me, of course, I think wherever you go to in Australia looks almost the same. So it doesn't really matter whether you go to New South Wales or Queensland or you go to Sydney. At the end of the day, you just realize that there is not much difference because it's quite one country, the same policy and the same opportunities that you're gonna meet. Well, this South Australia, you see, South Australia has got some good figures, even though not as huge as the other guys, right? So you can see in Australia, which is also a gateway for me. If you ask me, is you can look at employer sponsored. I think that they are number two actually. Employer sponsored, you can see 710. Skid independent 981. I can see regional is 8,600. I can see state territory nominated is 4,841. Business innovation is 1,011. Global talent is 213, and distinguished visa talent is 11. So that looks good. I mean, it's something to consider. This is quite important for you to understand these results. I'm gonna take you even on to when you can see the skills which you should be considering. Okay. Well, this for Tasmania. I'm not gonna go through Tasmania. Well, Tasmania I've got a good record. You can see region is 4,000 plus, state territory is 2,000 plus. So that's actually quite huge, which means Tasmania in this year gave over 6,000 to come to. I mean, a total of 7,235. That's a lot of number, man, for a region as small as Tasmania. So that shows that these guys are also very serious with getting people to come to Tasmania. Yeah, so you can see the outcome for Victoria, that's 48,691 or 891 rather. Yeah. Now I'm trying to go to the scale, so I'm not going to waste a lot of time here. For Western Australia, by visa stream and by stream and visa, you can see they took a total of 19,387. What does this whole statistics shows you? It shows you the areas to consider when moving to Australia. Yeah. So here is migration program outcome by clients, location at time of application. Okay, so you can see partners, employer sponsored, state and territory nominee, regional business. So you can see the partners have got a huge chunk, right? And next followed by this employer sponsored, state nominee, regional, skid independent and all that. Well, you can look up this graph later on. I will still go down because I want to make this snappy and I want to pick up some points before I wrap up. Let me just, I think I'm trying to say, yeah, these are people who have applied from within Australia, and this is the percentage, and these are people who have applied from offshore outside of Australia, and this is the percentage. So you can see that within Australia, I've got 57%, and outside of Australia for trade in 2012, and less in 2020 three, they've got 65% outside of Australia, 36%. So the competition is actually huge. A lot of people from within Australia actually are applying for these opportunities, and those are people who have come to study in Australia, who have come for vocational schools and a number of other programs. Okay, yeah, so they're also applying. So it's quite a lot of competition. This migration program had come by country and region of citizenship. See, Indians have got the highest by taking a whopping 41,000, and next followed by China, People's Republic, and those regions within China, and they've got a whopping 23,000. The next guy is Philippines, which has got about 12,000, and Nepal have got about 11,000, and we've got United Kingdom with about 10,500, and we've got New Zealand with about 10,100. We've got Vietnam with about 8,000. We've got South Africa with about 7,000, Pakistan with about 6,000, and Sri Lanka with about 5,000. So these are the main guys who have moved to Australia in the year in review through this. So you see that a lot of visas have been granted to Indians, Philippines, those from China. So if you want to move to Australia and you're from this region, you see that you have high success rate. So you don't have to think of, is this gonna be a very difficult situation for me or not? Because they are granting the visa. You can see the statistics, which is being published by the government of Australia, not just by some consultant or wherever it is. Yeah. So I'm just gonna go down now. I want to look at skills, but before then, look at migration program outcome from this year to 2023 in review by region major. So you can see Southern and Central Asia, Northeast Asia, South Asia, Southeast Asia, and Northwest Europe, Americans, Sub-Saharan Africa. You've got Southern and Eastern Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East, Oceania and Australia, and those who are not identified. So you see that Southern and Central Asia is still topping it because China is there and India is also there. So they are topping the chart. The next is followed by the Northeast Asia, and after which you can see those from Sub-Saharan Africa, which involve a lot of African countries, are topping the list. So those three are the guys in the forefront of migration in the year in review. Yeah, so I'm gonna go down to where my interest lies. So I would like to show you something that will interest you more. So let's just do it together. Yeah, you can see skilled stream. And this composition of migration program outcome in 2022 to 23 skill stream. So you can see that employer sponsored visa have got a whopping 24.6, and state territory nomination have got 21.8, and regional have got 23.8, yeah, which is like the second, and business innovation have got 3.5, and global talent have got 3.5, and skilled independent have got 22.6, which is actually big, and there is 0.2 for distinguished talent, So that's what it has been. And you can see the visa categories and the total number of people who were granted 142,344. Okay, yeah, we granted in the year 2022 to 2023 within this skill stream. That's only for skill train stream, okay, not for overall visa granted in that year. Yeah, let's just go down. Yeah, if you look at yeah, for business innovation, see, for those who have done business innovation, they've got about 2,500. But you can see some other categories like significant business history, investors, significant investors, business skills, entrepreneur, and venture capital entrepreneur. All these guys have hit up certain numbers, okay? Yeah, but then the major is business innovation and investors. The next is significant business history. So if you're investing, it gives you an opportunity because they believe you're going to bring your money to their country. Okay, so that's why they give you the opportunity to um, come into their country. If you're a significant investor, that's a great chunk for them. Yeah. Then this for talent independent category. You can see that Digitech took 28.5, next followed by health industry 18.6, next is financial services and fintech is about 16.7, and energy took 8.6, and defense, advanced manufacturing and space took 6.2, agro food and agri-tech took about 5.4, and infrastructure and terrorism took 5.1, resources took 4.7, and circular economy took 2.1, and this make up 100% of people who came through the global talent visa independent category. So this also helps you if you want to come to invest, you should know what kind of investment it should be. thinking about. And this migration program outcome regional category by subcategory and state, not territory, and of intended resident. The biggest chunk is from South Australia, then followed by New South Wales, then followed by Queensland, and you have Tasmania, Tasmania and Queensland. So, guys, this actually shows you for different visa categories, determines where you want to apply to. So, from what suits you, I mean, if you're an engineer, you may be able to go through the skill independent visa for a doctor and all. But if you're doing, let's say you want to go in for business investor, you have to check which state prefers to take investors. It's not every state that wants to take so much investors. I mean, all of them have certain numbers that allocate to it. For example, some states do not need so much engineers. They want to take lesser engineers and more health workers, whereby some states want more engineers and less health workers, probably because they've got saturation of that field. And that is why I'm taking you through this report so that you can see them and do some calculation and decide. Like for me, for my skill, if I'm going to apply for this, I know where to apply to because I've done some calculations now and I've seen what could favor me. Now we're going to see this migration program outcome for top 10 ASCO occupation unit group for skill stream primary applicants. Now look at registered nurse. Registered nurse has a whopping 10,000 plus, and it is being followed by, by accountants, which is about less than 50%, about 4,000 plus. And next is software and application programs. Okay, then we've got the chefs, we've got the civil engineers professionals, we've got the industrial mechanical and production engineers, and we've got the early child care and primary school teachers. We've got ICT business and system analyst, and we've got motor mechanics, and we've got secondary school teachers. So you see how it goes. So if you're a school teacher, what do you think? I mean, if you're a secondary school teacher, this is a good stream for you. And be very nice. I think you have huge advantage. I mean, to apply through this very stream because say they've taken about more than 10,000 nests, and that is comparatively over 100% to, higher than any other group which has been listed. And for migration program outcome for the top five ASCO occupation unit, you can see registered nurses are still topping it, followed by accountants, software and application engineers, programmers, chefs, civil engineer professionals, and yeah. And you can see the skill independent regional, whatever it is that they've come with. So now let's look at it again. Which one is the highest? You see the green for registeredness is highest, which means for registeredness is skill independent. This is the gateway for them for this top five and school. For accountant, the best for them is regional. They are needed in regional area. For software, you can see that they are either gonna go through employer sponsor, which is really true, or state or territory nomination. The same thing happen for civil engineers and mostly for state and territory nomination. So that is what it looks like to go. So if you're a reasoners, you go for skill independent visa. Yeah, that is the easiest gateway. You can as well go for state or territory sponsored is also, but regional is not really too good for nurses. You can see very little in the yellow. But for accountants, regional is the best for accountants. So this is why I'm taking you through this. This is like for me a gift I'm giving to you for those who are interested in PR. This is the easiest way to do it. And for migration program outcome, employer sponsored category by occupation unit group, you can see they've got software and application programmers highest, followed by registered nurse, chefs, accountants. Next is ICT and system analysts, motor mechanics, university lecturers, and other tutors. And they've got carpenters and joiners, and they've got management and organization analysts, and lastly, cooks. Yeah, this shows the number of occupants, applicants that have been taken. And the big surprise is migration program outcome for skill independent category by occupation unit group. You see that nurses are like about 5,300, and the nurse is just less than 800. So you see the difference is so huge. Within 5,360 and 813, it's quite a lot of difference. So Nurses are needed in Australia. So if you're a nurse, you should think about it and go through skill independent visa. Now for accountant, you can see the best way for accountants to move. Look at the regional category. Like I told you, look at accountant is topping the list because the regional areas for them they want. So if you want to be an accountant in Australia, think of regional area. They've got about less than 3,000, just about less than 3,000. Then the next is chef for regional area, which is just 1,000. You see the difference? Accountant is like triple needed in regional area than this other. Even mechanical engineers are needed, but not much for regional areas. So if you're a mechanical engineer, don't think that regional area is the best place for you. You're gonna get selected, but I don't think it's the best place for you because the chances are lesser. But skill independent visa gives you more opportunity to hit up the move in Australia. So we'll almost summarize soon, but let me just take you through migration program outcomes, state territory nominated, category by occupation unit group. Its registered nurses are topping up, almost making it triple the rest. And software application engineers took the nurse, accountant nurse, civil engineers, early childhood, industrial mechanical and production engineers, chef, secondary school teachers, and ICT business and system analysts, and lastly, other engineering professionals are all needed. But then look at the statistics to see which one favors you most. So you see, for whatever skill you have, you're either going to go through the regional area and get favor, or you're going to go through the state independent, or you have to look at the skill independent visa, or you have to go through the state or territory nomination and get this ball rolling. Of course, if you've got family members, this is also another opportunity, especially in New South Wales. And you know, yeah. So let's just look at maybe one more thing. Okay, this this has to do with processing activity and program outcome. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll just keep this. Yeah. So this for state territory nomination category comparison. Yeah, so you can see here um, different program outcome. Yeah, business innovation, distinguish, and all that. These are like minor routes. Family, okay, family is a huge chunk. So if you go down to all these graphs which I've shown you, it will help you to learn how to select your routes. It will help you to learn how to make your applications. Even if you have gone through the state independent, it will tell you which province to go and apply for PNP or for, and for sponsorship rather, and how you can get into Australia so easily. And that is the essence of reviewing this result. So, guys, I would like you to have a look at this and make a very careful consideration while doing your application. And I hope you become successful as you go through this. Well, guys, I'm going to be wrapping up here and I wish you the best of luck. But before you leave, do not forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe and, of course, share it to your network of people so that they will become part of this wonderful family where we will do things together to see how we can hit up and achieve our migration dreams. Well, I wish you the best of luck and I hope to see you in my next video. Have a great day. Cheers.